what's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about traditional Norwegian food that Norwegians do not like. I guess I kind of assumed that if it's a classic Norwegian food, all Norwegians must love it. But I'm learning that that might not be the case. I mean, everyone has their own individual tastes, I guess, and I thought it'd be very entertaining to take a look at this discussion where Norwegians were talking about what delicacies, what food from Norwegian cuisine are not your favorite. Are you not fond of eating? What Norwegian food do Norwegians actually not enjoy that much? Because I can say, as an American, a lot of Norwegian food does come across as very strange to me, very different. And that's just because I grew up in a different culture. And whenever I see Norwegian traditional foods, I'm always like, oh, well, I don't know if I would like that. And I just figured Norwegians love all this stuff. So this was really funny to me that some Norwegians don't enjoy Norwegian food, such as not in love with blood pannekaker? Blood pannekaker? By the name, I can't really tell what it is. It is a blood pancake? No. Well, I'm not surprised. I've never heard of this one. Blood pancake? Norwegians make blood pancake? It's a dish served in Finland, Estonia, Sweden, and Norway. Made of whipped blood, water, or Pilsner flour and eggs. Similar to black pudding? Oh my god, this is made of actual blood? Oh my god. See, if I had seen this before, I would have been like, oh, okay, this is a little strange to me as an American, but whatever. If Norwegians love blood pancakes, that's fine. But according to this Norwegian, they're not in love with blood pancake, blood pannekaker. Oh my god, I've never heard of that one. Is that actually somewhat popular in Norway? That kind of freaks me out. But, again, I've never tried it. Maybe it's good. But this Norwegian says it's a little questionable. Torskerogen? Torskerogen? Never heard of this either. What is this? Torskerogen. It's a Scandinavian delicacy. Cod roe. It is spread on rye bread. This is some kind of spread or something you squeeze out of a tube? Or out of a can? Maybe I can look up a picture of this? What kind of images? This is some kind of fish in a can. Okay, I'm like a detective here. I'm trying to get to the bottom of this. Torskerogen is some kind of cod, canned cod in a can. Yes, that one I would definitely have been like, as an American, been like, well, in America we don't really eat fish paste or stuff out of a tube or fish in cans. Some Americans, there's a couple of Americans out there, I'm sure they do eat that stuff, but most Americans would never even consider this. So Torskerogen, I would have been a little skeptical of, but it makes me feel a little more normal to hear that some Norwegians are also like, I don't know about the blood pannekaker, blood pancakes and canned cod, because that's kind of how I feel. I'm sure there's a lot of Norwegians that love this stuff, though, I imagine. But I'll still eat this with a smile on my face if it's offered to me. Exactly. You have to maintain your politeness if the traditional Norwegian food is offered to you. Hard pass on blood pancakes. Yeah, oh my god. I did not know that was even a Norwegian dish. I know Norwegians enjoy fish, but I've never heard of the blood pancake. If we're including Sami delicacies, I nominate reindeer brain. Reindeer brain. Yeah, I know some cultures around the world eat a lot more animal organs than we do in America. In America, we don't. We don't eat any animal organ, actually. It's a bit wasteful because I know that stuff can be very nutritious. So, I'm not going to knock the reindeer brain, but does reindeer brain make some Norwegians also go like, I don't know about that. Okay, that's a good start. Those are some things that I personally agree on, and it's kind of funny to me that there's actually Norwegians that are also like, oh, I don't know about that food, because I find myself saying that a lot. Lutefisk. Lutefisk, I've heard of this. What is this exactly? Some kind of fish? It is a traditional seafood dish in Norway and Sweden and Finland. It's made from dried whitefish, usually cod, that's been cured, and it translates to live fish. The fish is soaked in cold water for 5 or 6 days. Oh, you have to rehydrate it. And then it has a gelatinous texture. Like jello? Man, this one I've heard of. I think this actually is popular in Norway. Because I've heard of this, lutefisk. Oh my god. Oh man, I don't know about the gelatinous jelly texture. I'm not against fish in general at all. Americans, we don't eat a lot of fish, but it's not like it's disgusting to us. It's fine. It's just a little uncommon. But this fish, I don't know about the texture kind of makes me worried. And apparently some Norwegians don't love lutefisk either. Lutefisk is a bacon delivery system? What does that mean? What does that mean? Lutefisk is a bacon delivery system. Do Norwegians put bacon on it to help with the flavor? I don't need lutefisk to get bacon. My dad always adds bacon and shredded brunost to lutefisk. Interesting. Huh. Lutefisk. I think that's fairly common in Norway, so this is actually a good one because it actually got quite a lot of votes by a lot of Norwegians. A lot of Norwegians don't love lutefisk. I imagine, like many things that are culturally specific, this is something you have to get used to. When you're growing up in Norway, you eat lutefisk, and it's probably good for you. And it's fish, good for you. Probably has a good taste. Like, as an American, we just don't eat much fish. So I always have the same reaction to this stuff, but it's fun to hear that some Norwegians also don't like the idea of gelatinous fish. It's not just me. Smalahove. Smalahove. I don't know what that is. Smalahove is a Western Norwegian dish made from a sheep's head. Ah, I have. Oh, I saw this a while ago. I think I did a reaction, a video to this dish. The sheep's head. This is probably the one visually. Oh my god. Yeah. Visually, this one disturbs Americans the most. Because in America, we're very sheltered from like where our food comes from. We don't see animals getting butchered. We don't like to think about animals dying, or most Americans like don't actually prepare the meat. So seeing a severed sheep's head is really quite shocking to me. And to most Americans, seeing a sheep's head on a plate and presented as food would be shocking. A lot of Americans might even vomit or something. Like, this is just, you could not get more different to American food than this. I am curious, how common is smalahove? How often and when do Norwegians eat this? It seems like quite the like big preparation, like preparing an entire sheep's head and getting it. It's very Norwegian. It's probably the most difficult one for me to wrap my head around. So I'm not shocked that some Norwegians probably don't love this. The taste is not bad, but you get a half sheep head on your plate, exactly. It's not even the taste. You know, sheep meat is probably fine. It's probably good. It's the presentation that is so shocking. It's still shocking to me now seeing it. Uh Lutefisk. Okay, this person says lutefisk as well. The texture and smell. The toppings make it edible though. That there's a lot of Norwegians here actually talking about lutefisk and how it needs toppings, whether that's cheese or bacon. A lot of Norwegians don't just eat plain lutefisk. The best part is the eyeball muscle. Oh my god. Oh my god, of the smalahove. Yeah, that is some culture shock for sure. Smalahove is delicious. The eye is stringy with a soft inside that explodes in your mouth when you chew it. I just can't relate to this. I don't want to criticize it or anything. It's just different. It's just a different culture. I've never seen a severed animal head. Ever in my life. In real life. I've seen pictures of it now. I've seen pictures. Um, Getting past the visual of seeing an animal head and animal intestines, that would make it difficult to enjoy it. Even if it is good. And eating the eyeball and having it explode in your mouth, that's like something Americans do on TV shows that are supposed to be like Fear Factor, that are disgusting, fearful stunts or something about food. Eating an eyeball. Wow, that's really I have to say, as an American, I never associated this kind of stuff with Norway. I just thought Norway had fish, a lot of fish. But Norway actually eats a lot of animals as well. Reindeer, sheep head, organs. It's actually kind of cool. Like it almost makes me wish Americans like expanded our horizon a little bit. But I think now that I'm an adult, I don't know if I'm ever gonna mentally get around eating an eyeball. Uh, I prefer the cheek meat. The cheek meat of a smalahove, super tasty and tender with short fat muscle. That'd be pretty interesting to eat some of these really tender cuts of meat. Um, it's just meat. I would do that. I imagine it'd be quite good, actually. I just don't know about seeing where it came from. The eyeball part could not have been described more repellently than that. Yeah, okay. I'm glad there's some Norwegians here to back me up. Um, this guy's like, that eyeball couldn't have been that. The way you described popping an eyeball in your mouth was disgusting. I could feel it. Cheek meat is usually good meat, tender and tasty, but I don't want to see the face. Exactly. Exactly. I think the meat would be interesting to try. It's the presentation that's really shocking to me. Nothing wrong with smalahove. If you enjoy pinek jut, pinek jut, you'll also enjoy sheep's head. Pinek jut, I'll look this up. What is this? This is Norwegian main course dinner based on lamb ribs. Lamb ribs. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So sheep's head tastes like lamb rib? Is that what I'm learning here today? I had no idea. Nothing wrong with the taste, just the fact that you get a face on your plate. That's amazing to me. That in Norway, like that is a traditional Norwegian dish. Literally an entire sheep's head served. That's just so shocking as an American. I guess kind of normal as a Norwegian. It would be sort of normal. But there's a lot of Norwegians here saying it's kind of weird as to them as well. So it's just the cool thing about different cultures is having all these different things. Lutefisk again. There's quite a lot of Norwegians here saying that they actually do not enjoy lutefisk. That which I think is a fairly popular, like I had heard of that one. So it's funny that a lot of Norwegians secretly don't like it. Lutefisk is really delicious if it's prepared properly. Okay, if it's eaten at traditional restaurants, like Stortorvets or or Stegivery several times. Even had a modern take on it. Oh, most people who don't like lutefisk had a poorly prepared plate. Yeah, that would do it. From what I sound, you have to like prepare it. You have to like dehydrate it and make it gelatinous or something. You have to prepare it in the correct way. It's just a texture thing. No matter how good it tastes, I can't get past it. That's how I would feel. If it's like gelatinous, I don't know about the chewy, gooey jelly texture. In American culture, we don't have many things. We don't have any meat that's like gelatinous. That's very different. It's just funny how a lot of these things might actually be good, but as an American, I just have a mental block or a cultural block, and my mind won't let me even enjoy it, even if I wanted to. And it seems like some Norwegians agree. Not a delicacy, but fish cake is bleh. Fish cake. We do not have fish cake here. I don't know how I don't know how popular fish cake is in Norway. I think there's fish. There's like fish balls I know of in Norway. Fish cake and fish balls. This Norwegian doesn't like fish cake. I don't know. I do most Norwegians. I would assume most Norwegians do enjoy fish and fish cake. So maybe this is the minority here. Lutefisk. This entire discussion has just turned into a discussion about how Norwegians do not enjoy lutefisk. It's an abominable creation. Freshly caught cod is violated and dried for months. Oh my gosh, this guy has a real gripe against lutefisk. Then it's rehydrated, stuffed into lye to make it toxic. To make this abomination remotely edible, you have to water it for over a week. Really? Wow, you have to prepare lutefisk for a week? Is that true? Man, the preparation is even difficult. After this process, it resembles a jellified lump of disappointment. It needs so many condiments to be considered edible. You might as well eat bacon and consider the fish a wash. Wow. I think that kind of says it all. Oh my god, I did not know this is where this discussion was going to go. It's just turned into a lutefisk hating like discussion. I don't know. I'd love to know. Do most Norwegians dislike lutefisk? Or maybe it's just hard to prepare? Or maybe it just needs so much condiments, bacon and stuff to taste good that Norwegians are just sick of it and they're letting out their frustration here. Jellied eel was a thing in Norway. Boiled eel, let it sit, natural way to eat eel. Really? Eels? Do Norwegians eat eels? I haven't tried smalahove. I don't go out of my way to eat lutefisk. Otherwise, I quite like Norwegian staples. Yeah, that's what I would think, honestly. I think most Norwegians, and probably most people around the world, would enjoy most of this classic traditional Norwegian food. There's just a couple, depending on your personal preferences, that kind of stick out. Like the sheep's head, kind of scary for me to look at, but probably tastes good. The meat probably tastes good, I'll admit that. Lutefisk, if I gave it a try, maybe I'd like it. A lot of Norwegians, the number one complaint here today was lutefisk. So maybe I'm going to be a bit skeptical of that, because that seemed to be the number one answer today. But anyway, this whole conversation about Norwegian delicacies and Norwegian cuisine that Norwegians don't like that much, I thought was so entertaining. This was so funny, because I just assumed, oh, this is sacred Norwegian food. All Norwegians must love it. And that's just, Norwegians are just regular people. You like certain things, you dislike certain things, and this food can be like kind of special to Norway, but that doesn't mean it's always great. Especially lutefisk. But anyway, I enjoyed this quite a bit. If you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment, perhaps with what Norwegian food you do not like. That'd be interesting to hear about. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Norway and Norwegian culture, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching and see you next time.